sweep. It is, at the end of the day, you take the three blue wall states that would have elected Harris. You have Democrats winning 2 of the 3 Senate seats there. You have Kamala Harris within a point in Wisconsin, a couple of points in Michigan, a couple of points in Pennsylvania. Again, not a landslide there, but my gosh, she did worse in 48. Democrats did worse in 48 of the 50 states. They got routed by 13 points or so in Florida, 13, 14 points or so in Texas. When in Texas, they were getting closer and closer over the past 15 years to actually making that race competitive. Nothing there. So what are you hearing from Democrats mainly? That is there any sort of consensus in these early days?
I don't think there's any consensus, and there rarely is this close to an election. I think you would kind of hit on it at the top of your statement right there, that the redemption probably exists in trying to figure out why are they doing well with governors in states like Michigan and in Pennsylvania, and why are some of these Senate candidates able to win in states where Vice President Harris could not win. Start to figure out what's different about their politics than the politics you see in Washington. They know, like, listen, it is like we're now 20 years into this trend where whatever we give people, they want something different. There's always a sort of anti-ruling class backlash. So presumably in the off-year elections or in the next presidential election, they should do better. But and we've been talking about this a lot on this show for the last year, the thing that there's been a siren ringing, like, why were Hispanics moving even long before this towards Republicans? Why are working class voters used to be the bedrock of the Democratic Party, you know, the Bernie Sanders crowd? Why are they suddenly attracted to Trump? And it's very hard to win national elections just having really rich, educated people in big cities loving you. You need more. You've got to have a more diverse coalition. You've got to be able to appeal to working class voters who are worried about inflation and economic topics. And so someone will emerge at some point to be able to lead them out of the promised land, but there's not an obvious figure. I don't think Michelle and Barack Obama want to lead a revival of the party. Right. And Barack Obama can't run again anyways. It's going to be very hard for Vice President Harris to say, hey, I lost and did worse than Joe Biden in 48 states, but I'm the person to lead you. And so they're going to have to find who are those figures to lead them. It's Hakeem Jeffries, probably going to be the most powerful Democrat by virtue of his position. Is he the future of the party? I don't know. Probably one of those governors you mentioned.
So Jim was talking about the back and forth nature of American politics, and we've been doing this a little while. I've done this before. I want to do it again, just for people that are thinking, they always seem to think that the election that was most recently held is the end of history, and we've seen it time and time again. I just want to go over this again. In 2004, Republicans won. Karl Rove declared a permanent majority. 2 years later, Nancy Pelosi was elected the first woman Speaker of the House. Democrats took charge. 2008, Barack Obama is elected in the Hope and Change election, and Democrats talk about a permanent sweeping majority of the ascendant. 2 years later, the Tea Party comes in, and they are in charge. Could not be more different than Barack Obama and all those people who won in 2008. So that was in 2010. 2012, Barack Obama gets reelected. 2014, Republicans take charge of the Senate. 2016, Trump's elected. 2017, Republicans lose. 2018, Republicans lose. 2019, Republicans lose. 2020, Joe Biden elected president. 22, Democrats hold off the red wave. 24, the red wave comes. So there is a back and forth, and this whole idea that this is somehow the end of history, which we heard in 2004 when Bush got reelected. We heard in 2008 when Barack Obama got elected. It's just not. But, Anna, the Democrats have serious problems. There's just not going to come back by gravity. They have serious problems. They lost a great number of Latino voters. They lost a great number of black men. They lost young voters in numbers that they're just is shocking to them that voted for them 2 years ago, 4 years ago. Asian Americans broke away from them. 48 of 50 states broke against Democrats. And some of those states, like I said, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania is moving that way with party registration. If Democrats don't do something fast, Pennsylvania is going to be gone 4 years from now. And the ability to win an election seems even more narrow. What do you think happened a couple of days ago? And where do Democrats need to go over the next 4 years if they want to run a competitive race against the next Republican nominee?
Yeah, it's a difficult week. I think elections are an ancient technology for finding out who your neighbors are, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, right? We have these other polls and other things, but not until you get 100 million plus people driving somewhere, voting, mailing in things, do you actually know who lives around you?
We'll have much more of Morning Joe Weekend right after the break.
My 100th Mint commercial. No. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Yeah. Anyway, still $15 a month, so whenever you're ready. Sorry about all that production value.
When your home needs work, where do you go?
Angie.
Angie?
That's where Angie came in.
With Angie, find top-rated certified pros in your area. Plus, compare quotes and pricing to help you get all your jobs done well. Find top-rated certified pros in your area at Angie.com.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made, including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. For every pair of glasses or sunglasses sold, a pair of glasses is distributed to someone in need. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Let's go! All right, I'm loose. 24 years ago, 5'2", I think I get under.
As someone once said, it's got to be the shoes.
Tom, on you. Oh, baby! 5'18".
If you do that 25 years ago, you get drafted in the 3rd round.
No bull. Just get it done. Let's go.
Dinner time distress is out, really out. Because with Cook Unity, leaving it to the pros is in. Chef prepared, delivered, ready to dig in is so in. Cook Unity, the chef is in.
When my hair started to thin, I thought, am I gonna have any hair left?
After I gave birth, my hair wasn't even thin, it was gone.
When I spoke to my dermatologist, he immediately pointed me in the direction of Nutrafol.
It's 100% drug-free and clinically tested.
Within 3 months, my hair was fuller.
It's longer, it's so much thicker.
I had more scalp coverage.
It was so nice to be noticed for my hair after hiding it for so many years.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com.
With Lumi Whole Body Deodorant, you can dare to do the things BO never lets you. Like a little weeknight spontaneity with no pre-shower. After all, it's 9:30. The kids are in bed. And you've got better things to do than worry about what your pits, or anything else smells like. Because up to 72 hours ago, you used Lumi just about everywhere to stop odor-causing bacteria reactions before they started. Dare to do what BO never lets you. Go to LumiDeo.com and get your first starter pack for 30% off.
1 second, they're a neighbor you like. The next, they're a neighbor you trust.
Gotcha, no problem.
1 second, you're worrying about your home. And then, thanks to ADT, there's a lot less to worry about. Feel secure enough to let others in with Trusted Neighbor from ADT.
Subscribe to MSNBC Premium on Apple Podcasts. Get early access and ad-free listening to Rachel Maddow's chart-topping series, bonus content, and new episodes of MSNBC original podcasts and your favorite MSNBC shows ad-free. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
I want to take a look at New York Times columnist Frank Bruni, who has a new piece entitled Democrats, Let's Get Real, about why Harris lost, and then go to Caddy. He writes in part this: Americans, at least the ones whose minds weren't firmly made up, would surely abandon Trump now. There was a limit to the cruelness and craziness they'd abide. That judgment, of course, was terribly wrong. And I want to name and dwell on a few of the reasons for its wrongness, because they're stubborn, misapprehensions, enduring blind spots. They're costing Democrats, no, they're costing America dearly. For starters, many voters don't know about or didn't really pay attention to all of Trump's florid ugliness in the final hours. Many voters aren't plugged in like that. Politics, even presidential campaigns, aren't in the center of their vision, but in its periphery, and irregularly at that. Those of us who get hourly updates, have nightly freakouts, and can hold forth on Trump and the shark, Trump, and Hannibal Hector and Trump and windmills aren't normal, but we are arrogant. We assume our experience is everyone's and our knowledge ambient. No, people are busy, people are distracted, people are cynical. They tune out much, if not most, of this political drama because they regard it indeed as theater, as performance, whether it's Trump's conniptions or Harris's kumbaya. So what then forms their impressions and drives their decisions? They're responding in significant measure to the state of the world around them, whether it's to their liking and whom they hold responsible for it. That was Harris's affliction, the price of food, the elusiveness of home ownership, and the fact that she'd been the number 2 figure in the administration in charge of the country for the past 4 years. The obvious, boring nature of the diagnosis didn't make it any less fatal. Another blind spot, the belief that seemingly key moments matter more than ongoing conditions. Sure, Democrats had an expertly choreographed convention. Yes, Harris had a great debate, no doubt. Trump had a miserable one. And then came his Madison Square Garden debacle. But while treating each of those news stories as potential turning points spiced the narrative, it smudged the big picture, which is about satisfaction with and confidence in the country's direction. Survey after survey showed that Americans were deeply fearful and intensely pessimistic. Not even the most star-studded rally could change that. Not even an endorsement by Taylor Swift could make it go away. Caddy, I think that was searingly correct in many ways. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Frank Bruni is onto something. There was something Kellyanne Conway said back in 2016, which is that voters make a difference between what offends them and what affects them. And many of them may have been offended by Trump's comments. Many of us were offended.